Another video for the T5 here, parking sensors. We got these off Amazon. I think they were £28. Anyway, so I'm fitting these on the 2008 T5. I've removed your rear light. There's 2 screws here. I'm doing it on the right hand side, and then literally once you take out the 2 screws I just showed you on the other side, you can literally put your hands and pull the mirror out. It comes out on the right. Don't try pulling it towards you because you'll break one off. That's what the person that owned this van seems to have done, so I need to replace this at some stage. But anyway, remove your light, and at the back of the light you'll see your connector, and that connector was connected to your light block here, so you just remove that with your fingers. You should be able to get it out. So what you do next is, on your parkmate you got your power cable, so that power cable is going to go into your reverse light. There's loads of videos showing which is your reverse light, but every car, and even this, you see the amount of tape on this van, it's been used with a trailer before because it has a bit of a tow bar. Wires are messed up and they're never as they're supposed to be in an old van, so my advice is get your tester. You want to set it on 20 volts. You want to have your negative on an earth. I used the clip on the boot, and then with your power, I'm not an electrician, so I'm probably using the wrong terms, but anyway, go into your block. By the way, have the van off, the engine off, but have the van in reverse. And then what you literally do is get your red and put it inside each one of these, and you'll get a reading of, you should get a reading just below 11 volts, 11.5 or something. So that's what I got on mine. The main thing is, when you're messing around with all these settings, is you only want it on 20 volts because it's you want it to show up to a maximum of 20. Anything else is for higher. You're talking like your residential sort of electrics. You don't want that. So these are 15 volt, but putting into your connector here, mine are right. So I put mine in place because I haven't done this before, but obviously in the video you want to be able to see how it all works. So you see on they have an up indicator, so you know which way to go. So basically the wire's at the bottom, but you measure out where you want it to go. I've got a tow bar, so I kept it a small bit of a distance away, and then I've also got this reflector light, so I kind of sat it a little bit closer to the reflector light, and then one right on the corner. So I wanted mine quite close to the top of the bumper. The best way to do is when you have it connected, before you core out your little hole saw, before you drill out your holes, is literally just hold them in place and move your leg or your hand from the side up near it, and you'll know when the sensor's going off. But I pretty much picked my position, so I pop my cable through the end, and underneath, these aren't standard T5 bumpers, but underneath I've just got the cable loose at the moment. I've got my 4 cables running above my tow bar. I'm going to tie them together now with some masking tape or electrical tape, and then after that I'm going to cable tie them onto probably the bumper clips up here, so they can't go anywhere but out of the rain, as far out as I can go, which is what you want to do. And then you get your 4 cables here coming out, and then right in the corner here running all the way up by the light. See a gap straight down there. I'm going to run my cables up through here, and that's where I get my connection. So I've all my wires now are taped up. I just used normal electrical tape for now. I'm going to probably go over it all with cable ties afterwards as well on top of them. But I said I was using the right hand corner, and then I'm going to run my cables up through. Some transporters have a full gap there. I've some holes for clips. I actually got a drill bit and drilled. You just see where my finger's over now, this hole here. I drilled that bigger so I can run them up. Just see my gaps there. So I'm going to just run the wires from here up through, out through here. So that's all the 4 cables up through my little hole I made. I'll just show you where that runs. So from the holes behind the light, down above my bumper fixings, and then they run along above the tow bar. So I've got all my cables got all my cables tied up, pushed them down into this hole here. I've just put a bit of tape around because you can get water sometimes, if you can see. That will run down the back and down through them little holes. So the idea being is I've put the stick that's provided on the back of the box, and the box is going to go literally behind here, because no water usually runs on this end, it runs on the back and down through the drain holes. So I'm just going to stick that. So I've just put an extra bit of tape, electrical tape, over that block, just to make sure all's good. So now I'm just going to connect the light up again, go and do a run along with the sensors. To be honest, on this bumper the sensors don't actually sit flush, you see. They have a little catch on them just inside, but my bumper seems to be just that little bit, about a mil or two thicker. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to glue them in place. I think that's the only option. And then if it's only a glue around the edge, it's more to do a seal to waterproof it. Actually I think I'm going to do silicone instead. So I'll silicone them in with white, so at least it's sealed and it's watertight and waterproof as well, if I use the right silicone. And that's it really. It just depends on where you want your little monitor. So what I did with mine, I haven't decided where I'm going to put it yet, but at least I know it's all connected. I ran my wire behind the rubber seal for the door, and then in between the bumper, and back out through here, up through the holes that I made, and then connected it in the block. And the block is literally right behind here using that sticky tape. So yeah, I just need to figure out where in the van I want to put it, because I've got kids' seats here, their heads are going to be here, so the audio beeping, or the beeping noise, I don't want too close to my kids' heads, to be honest. So I think what I'm going to do is put it, screen smudged, I think what I'm going to do is put it here. That's the best idea. Yeah, I think that might be the best place. or up in this back corner, because you want to be looking to see it in your mirror while you're driving. So I think that might be the spot there in that corner. So everything's wired up, ignition on, don't start it because it's in reverse. Let's do a check.